Your husband is a legal permanent resident. He's a veteran of the United States military. And he has a letter. You have that letter that you shared with us from ICE saying that they would not pursue removing him from the country. It's called a letter of no interest.
Hi, guys, and welcome back to the Caribbean Spot. Well, the wife of the U.S. veteran facing deportation speaks. Let's get into this video.
This story stood out to me. It's the case of a man named Marlon Paris. He's originally from Trinidad and Tobago, arrived in the U.S. as a minor in the late 90s. Marlon went on to join the Army and served in Iraq early in the war. He is a legal permanent resident of the United States. His family says he served time in prison for a nonviolent felony drug charge. His wife shared with us a letter they say they got from ICE and the Department of Homeland Security. And it says that Marlon would not be, he would be, Marlon would be allowed to stay in the country. They got that in 2016. Well, last month, on January 22nd, Marlon was detained by ICE. He's been in custody since that day. Today makes 1 month. Marlon's wife, Tanisha Hartwell Paris, is with us now, and she's in her car because she's sitting outside of the detention facility where her husband is being held. Today is one of 2 weekly visiting days. Tanisha, thank you for being with me. Take me to January 22nd, 2 days after the inauguration, I'll remind people. Your husband was on his way to an ATM, and what did he tell you happened?
Yes, so he was actually a normal day as we thought it would be. He was going to the ATM because we had to pay some bills. And all of a sudden, by the time he got to the stoplight that is right outside of our subdivision, he called me immediately because about 5 or 6 cars, unmarked vehicles, SUVs, pulled up, and it was ICE. So they were swarming him, telling him to pull over. And at that point, he's like, ICE is about to detain me. I immediately jumped in my car and was there in probably less than 3 minutes.
Again, your husband is a legal permanent resident. He's a veteran of the United States military. And he has a letter. You have that letter that you shared with us from ICE saying that they would not pursue removing him from the country. It's called a letter of no interest. All of that's accurate, correct?
Correct. So he entered, like you stated, as a minor in 1997. So his father was naturalized into the United States. He came over in 1997 and received what they call a LPR, which is lawful permanent resident green card. He has renewed that every 10 years. And then, yes, the letter of no interest, which I actually have here and I provided as well to CNN, is from 2016, and it specifically states that he is not subject to deportation.
And so what is the explanation you or he have been given about why he's a month later still being detained?
Nothing. They have no reason as to why he is still in custody. I have went in front of senators here in Arizona. We have reached out for support. We voted these people into office. They should, of course, be able to assist us in this matter. No one is able to give us a definite answer as to why my husband is still in custody a month later, when, of course, all of the facts state that he has every right to be here, specifically from the Department of Homeland Security and ICE, the same people who are detaining him currently.
We also reached out to ICE and asked why Marlon Paris was targeted, why he's being detained. They told us they couldn't share info on the case. They cite that no signed privacy waiver was on file. But of course, we'll keep following the story.
At Pure Talk.
Okay, so I heard this, and what stood out to me was the letter of no interest, right? So I did some research, and this is what it came up with. It says that a letter of no interest from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, or any other immigration authority is an official document stating that at the time of issuance, and for this man it will be 2016, right? So at the time of issuance in 2016, ICE has no intention of taking enforcement actions such as deportation, detention, or removal proceeding against the recipient, Mr. Paris, right? Again, in 2016, when Mr. Paris received the letter of no intent, ICE had no intentions to pursue any actions against him. However, that was in 2016. This letter is often given in cases where the recipient may have had prior legal issues, but ICE determines that they do not meet the criteria for enforcement or removal at that time. So, 2016, they reviewed his case, and ICE said, well, you know what? We do not have any intentions based on the evidence in front of us, right, to remove Mr. Paris via deportation or whatever else, right? No removal proceedings. However, this letter does not grant legal status, permanent immunity. And I think this is where the wife got it wrong. Or maybe she has a letter that says he has permanent immunity or protection from future actions. It simply states that ICE has reviewed the case of Mr. Paris and decided not to take action at that specific moment, right? And I think this is where probably they are misinterpreting what the letter actually means. Hey everyone, I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank you for watching. If you're enjoying this content and want to see more, do me a huge Caribbean favor. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and drop a comment below. Your support helps me grow this channel and build a strong Caribbean community where we can have real conversations. Let's keep this momentum going. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Now back to my commentary. So one of the questions that came to mind, and I had to research it, was, can someone who received a letter of no interest in 2016 be detained and facing deportation in 2025? And the answer there is yes. A person who received a letter of no interest in 2016 can still be detained and placed in removal proceedings in 2025. And here's why. One, a letter of no interest is not permanent protection, right? It doesn't guarantee you permanent protection. And it says that immigration laws and enforcement priorities change. What was deemed a low priority case in 2016 may now be subject to enforcement in 2025. Two, policy and administration changes. And I said this in our original video, right? The administration back then, they were more lenient, right? They did not enforce, or more, not more lenient, I would say more laxed, right? But the administration in 2025, they are enforcing the laws and that's it, right? Another point here is new or undiscovered evidence, right? Okay, so if new facts emerge, then ICE can take action even if a prior letter of no interest was issued. And then the last point is reevaluation of the case. So ICE has the discretion to revisit past cases. A letter of no interest is not a binding legal protection against future enforcement. And that is what we're seeing today, right? That is what we're seeing today. So does a letter of no interest mean no legal actions can be brought against the recipient in the future? No. A letter of no interest does not guarantee no legal action will be taken in the future. Okay? Just want you guys to know this. It is not a legal status. It does not prevent ICE from reopening a case. It does not override new legal violations. and it does not prevent deportation under a new administration. And that is what we're seeing. So, in conclusion, can this man be deported in 2025? Yes. If ICE determines that new evidence, change in force priorities, or prior undiscovered legal violations warrant removal, the recipient can be detained and deported in 2025. The letter of no interest is not a permanent safeguard against immigration enforcement. Anyone in this situation should seek immediate legal counsel. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let's keep this conversation going. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, and see you on the next one. Bye.